I believe it may be streaming now. It doesn't cue me on this side necessarily. It's just a white screen. All right, fabuloso. Oh, I'm touching my glasses. I just paused the YouTube side and I can see, yeah, as soon as it cues me, it's starting, even though the screen is white on mine. Hello. All right, we have started our live stream. I'm going to leave my Zoom screen contracted. I don't know how you say that, not quite so big. So potentially I can see any of the chats that come through on YouTube. I'm not going to have, I don't think I get complete access though, because I'm doing this through Zoom. So welcome for those of you that are joining on our live, filtering in. And as your chats pop up, I'll be able to see them, but I don't believe I'm seeing the whole list because I am streaming from Zoom. Okay, so let's start. So grateful that you're here. All right, guys, I'm Elizabeth with Willow Root Tarot. Welcome. I've already got the cards, some of them laid out. I have 2 decks laid out. I've got 1, 2, you know, how many, look, this is my workstation. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 decks, just right here for some general purposes. 2 more right there. This is my love deck. We're not reading with this today, but for love readings. Okay, let's just start our readings. So we're going to begin with Seasons of the Witch, Letha Oracle. So you see I'm going to have to spend hours correcting this camera because I've tried so many times. It was so easy to set up to move around like this, but I can't figure out how to shut it off. Do you see that purple on Witch, the metallic ink? It's so pretty. The cards are reflecting that purple again. This is the back of the card. And this is the guilt edge on the card. Guilt, like, you feel guilty about that, but I believe it's spelled G-I-L-T. All right. Let's pull a card. If you have a question that you would like answered today, answer it. Whatever you're thinking, wanting. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear this. There's an alarm going on. It's not going to get. They're not even sleeping in that room, so that alarm is just going to keep going off. There's no one in the room. So we'll read from a series of decks. Whatever comes through is great. And if you came in here with this burning desire to know something and are thinking, but none of these cards really seem to be leading me towards an answer, you don't need to move to find your answer. You can stay perfectly still. Answers come to you. Eight of Wands. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not what you're not doing. There's no fault or blame. Answers surface. They're not just like money doesn't grow on trees, right? Neither do answers necessarily. It's kind of like there might be 50 million answers to your one question. Which one works the best for you? So for the past couple of days, I've had some. I always pay attention when I have sensations or feelings. I always pay attention. I think I do anyway. And I try to lead into them. I try to find answers. I really let my mind go. And I've been getting some very strong sensations over the past 2 days. I'm just going to take about 60 seconds because we are in a room. It's a great way to do this. Great setting. Take a few deep breaths. You're welcome to join me. About a minute. Let my mind wander out and become with the flow. And when I say the flow, it's like the flow is the idea of I don't have to go anywhere to find an answer. I stand still. I am the epicenter. I am the epicenter of all flow as well. The flow is around me. It's through me. It's over me, under me. It's like being in space. Flow is like there's no direction it can't move. 60 seconds or so just to take a few deep breaths and see what there is, because it occurred to me that maybe there is something that the universe would like to ask. to the universe. Is there anything you would like to know? So I, as a reader, am often standing in a hallway. I've heard other readers mention hallways. Guys, what I share with you is not like, oh, I see that too. We're the same kind. No, we're just human. And as a species, we're likely to share the same visions. So, but join with me. I'm often standing at a hallway, doors on either side. When I look at someone IRL and I read them or adjust myself to try to like get their energy to feel, do a read on someone, but like in a good way, not like a drag queen way. I'm not reading you like that. The doors in the hallway, I automatically see them, and how they react to the presence of this person in my life will give me some indication of what I'm feeling, like how I'm reacting. It gives me clarity in the situation. I don't always understand the doors, but there's always a hallway with doors on both sides, and the doors always move together. So this time when I asked the universe if there's anything that you would like to know, it showed me a single door. And a lot of times tentacles are coming out of the door, really big ones, and there's always black behind it. It's not scary to me, it's fine. This time the tentacles were like pale. And I could almost picture like there's some pastel colors going on too, but not quite. But those are nice colors to me. I think it was an invitation from the universe to sink in, and whatever I would like to know about the universe is what I may see. So that's what I'm going to do in the cards today. I would like to know about the universe. What may I see? Go ahead, I see your hand.
Well, I mean, the flow of the universe, what you have to understand about it, that it's a library. When you're in the universe, you're accessing this library. There's more wisdom, more information available to you when you're there. It's better than our everyday library, the physical library building, or maybe AI, but it's a big library.
Well, okay, so it's not necessarily what I have to understand. That's how you began the statement, which really triggered me. It's what you view as your reality and that you are sharing with the room now. And I thank you for sharing. This I just like to be very careful not to should. I get that, like the Akashic Records, a warehouse or library of all that was, is, and will be. So that would be cross-dimensional too. All right, let's see. So I asked the universe. No, I'll say express. I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. So I send out the message, I am safe and all is well. And in the universe, the response comes. We all live in the universe. Whatever you'd like your universe to be. I am safe and all is well. All is Woo! Okay. I like all I like all the cards, but this look at this. Okay, master number 33. Now, 33, I don't know what 33 is, but 3 and 3, like if I just take 3, 3, we have the energy of the Empress, key 3 in the major arcana. That's just where my mind goes, guys. If you want to go back to when you were 3 years old and the predominant memory you have, that can be your energy for this card. You can read this however you want. There is no wrong in tarot and oracle. We have stargazing card 33, 3 and 3. Empress energy coming through. I am safe and all is well. I said that before I pulled this because I fucking created this reality. My hand dealt this and I live it and I accept the resources and the abundance of this life. Thank you. All right, stargazing 33. It takes a lot of courage to reach for the stars to expand the self, but it is possible. Okay, ooh, goosebumps, star seeds. Let's go ahead and shake it. Star seeds. So, star seeds, I hear say, I am of the stars. I'm here on Earth, and above me, the stars, my home, is where I had rested and will rest again. Within me, the stars rest, and we can all say that. The stars rest in all of us. Some of us have a real connection to our home beyond Earth, where we once lived. Maybe we may live there again. However you want to view it is correct. I'm not trying to correct anybody. And it says it takes a lot of courage to reach for the stars to expand the self, but it is possible. Go home. Reach for your home. Speak with those that still live there. Connect, commune, communicate. All right, stargazing. Here's the card. So cute. See, she's kind of levitating. She's doing the as above, so below, but on her back above the ground. Huh. Let's see what we have. There's something else I'd like to say. The complete and total lack of light pollution. Okay, 33. Stargazing. Keywords. Courage. Reaching for the stars. What is truly possible? I also want to say this because it just occurred to me. So, reaching for the stars. If we were like to literally reach for the stars, this is a good stretch. Can you bring your comfortably, if this is at all painful, stop what you're doing. Can you bring your arms, your upper arms, to your ears? Can you put your hands in the air and pull your arms back enough? Relax your shoulders. Let's go ahead and let them drop. If they're up in your ears like this, you want to go ahead and relax the shoulders. Your arms do not need to be straight. They can be slightly bent. If you're comfortable, bring them straight and bring them back. Relax those shoulders. Good posture. Can you do this? Can you bring out, up, down, and rest? Physical movement to reach for the stars. But physical movement is imperative for our mental and physical well-being. So when you think I'm going to reach for the stars, jazzercise that bitch. Go for it, girls. A 1, a 2. Let's get those quads in. Okay, really do something. Move your fucking body. Reach for the stars and exercise the arms. Look up to the starry skies and imagine how much we've already discovered of the myriad worlds out there. Humans have launched satellites into space to connect billions of people worldwide. And we've put men on the moon and sent rovers to Mars. We've created telescopes that are capable of seeing beyond our solar system and have discovered planets light years away. We could read those planets, guys. Oh, fuck yeah, we're doing an event. We're going to read some planets. I've never thought it. The moons of the planets. We could read moons of planets. We could read the interstellars on the planets. That's exactly what's the starseed energy today? Because I don't necessarily recognize myself as a starseed. I have been told I am, but I can't remember what they said. Is there some serious starseed energy today, guys? Okay. All of those things started as a spark in someone's imagination. Little more than a passing thought that turned into life-changing history. Knowing all of this, ask yourself if what you want is truly impossible. Will it be difficult? Probably. Will it require you to grow, adapt, have courage, and take risks? Yes, of course. But is it impossible? Impossible. No, my dear, it is not. Something is only impossible until someone believes enough to make it a reality. There is a pathway for you to manifest your dreams and ideas if you're willing to reach higher than what you're comfortable with. You cannot reach your goals being who you are now And while there's nothing wrong with who you are today, if you were the kind of person who could accomplish your goals, you'd have them already. Have the audacity to imagine your best self and then become that. Do it. How do you need to grow in order to chase your dreams? Are there skills you need to learn or habits to defeat? Or do you need to forgive someone and possibly yourself? Consider how you can expand yourself, whether your reading is about love, career, finances, or creative pursuits. Consider how you can expand yourself. I asked the universe. Can you expand beyond? Is it possible to expand beyond the universe? Wait, we're in a galaxy within a universe. Is the universe in totality one, or are there multiple universes? In this dimension, are there multiple universes? Hold on. Where's my phone? Guys, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I live in the Milky Way galaxy inside of the universe. Is it the universe or does it have a name? And is there more than one universe in this dimension? Andromeda Galaxy. What? Oh my God, this is a lot of words. No, the universe does not really have another name. The universe is everything that exists. Oh, like the Akashic Records. Everything that exists. Space, time, matter, energy, and the laws of physics. Is there more than one universe? Single universe model or the multiverse? Oh, that's what Marvel talks about, but that's dimensional, isn't it? Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Bubble universes. One version of the multiverse proposes that our universe is one bubble. Oh my God, I had that vision years ago. I saw that. It is true. I believe the bubble one. Among many larger bubbles that may never interact with another. I saw that. Okay, I don't know then. Okay, so we pretty much have one universe in this dimension. Well, unless you want to do the bubble universe thing, and I do, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, I like that. Thanks. Thank you for your patience. Field trip. All right. So, oh, there's only one sentence left. You broaden your ideas of what's possible every time you have the courage to learn something new or challenge an outdated idea of yourself. Do you see what I just did? I took a pause to learn that. That's exactly what the card is saying. You broaden your idea of what's possible every time you have the courage to learn something new. I've got that speed. Got a lot of room up here still. All right. Ooh, ooh. So the card under it, which we're not reading, but I just want to show you because I love the artwork. Summer Berries. Check out her ink. I love it. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do too. This is manifesting. This is manifesting. Put it away. I can't manifest right now. I was going to write down on my planner, set up card cam. Okay. Okay, I'm a little bit excited. I haven't read from this deck in a little while. I think at this point we have read from every Oracle deck I own. Does that mean I should go get more Oracle decks? Ooh, I don't know, maybe. Okay, this is Karen K. I also have her mermaid deck, but I didn't see it offhand. Very cute. This is a pocket Oracle. Whenever you see pocket Oracle, think smaller because it's going to fit in your pocket. And if you're wearing chick jeans, it means you have no fucking pocket. And if you do, you can get like the last two digits in there. What is with pockets? Okay, Karen K, pocket oracle for the fairies, or of the fairies, not for them, because they'd be reading it. How come no one's done that? Like, has anyone done a deck like pocket oracle for the fairies? Like, this is a book for the fairies, and we found it, and we're reading this special deck that's meant for the Fae realm, but we have it. We have special access. I think that's fun, and it would give the designer a lot of freedom because they're viewing this from the aspect of Fae. Sorry. All right, so let's do this. Pocket Oracle of the Fairies. And this is Karen K. K-A-Y. She also has that. I'll get that mermaid one for the maybe next time. I'll try to grab it for tomorrow. I got this. I like to buy a deck when I travel, or a coffee mug, or a magnet, or a keychain. But I'm real picky on the keychains. The front needs to look like the back. The back has to have something on it, and I like to spin. Anyway, I like buying decks. So, I was in Romania, and this was one of the few in English. And I was like, well, I want to be able to read it on the plane home, the 27-hour plane ride. And not really, it wasn't quite that far. And so I got this one. And boy, oh boy, do I like it. I wasn't sure. I've never had a deck on fairies before. I've been told I am a fairy, actually. I should probably explore these. Really, really sit down and spend like an hour or so exploring the thought of I'm a fairy, I'm an interstellar. You know, readers have read this energy about. So let's read about fairies. Again, it's a pocket deck, so it's little. So, you know, just keep it in mind. She might sell a full-size version. Okay, we're ready. All right. Oh, let me show you the back of the card. It's very pretty. Card, no number. Magical gateway. Oh, thinking about the aces. What's the ace in the garden? Probably the ace of pentacles with the garden gate in the back. It's actually not a garden gate, it's just an opening in the wall. And because this is a door. And it's the idea you can enter and exit any scenario, any garden, any building, any thought, any relationship. It's the beginning can also be marked by the end. The portal, the threshold, the gateway, crossing in and crossing out. If you're crossing into something, the idea is you can cross back. We do have, even in our own body, like our heart regulating blood flow, we've got stopgap valves. It goes one way. But life is rarely like that unless we're being forced into the movement or momentum by someone else. So let's see what Magical Gateway with the Fairies offers. Or she has a key, y'all. She's got a key. I want y'all to go ahead and think of this like this. If you're comfortable feeling this way, that you are the fucking key. You don't need shit. You bring it all to the table. Don't even listen to that other stuff. Like you could be like, oh, I need a key. Boom, magically appears. Because you are the key. All right, Magical Gateway. Magical Blessings. Oh, please be in order. It is alphabetical. All right, let's read from the book. What time is it? Oh, okay. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forwards without looking back. Okay, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, so boldly go where no man has gone before. That was on the original series. They changed it, though, in the Next Generation. That got dropped in 1988. The Next Generation. All right. The fairies are asking you to step through the fairy door and into their world of magic and wonder. They're telling you that fairy tales are real and that you're never too old to believe in fairies. Back in the very early 1900s, these two girls in England, I think, said they captured early photography, captured images of fairies, but they faked it. That's fine. But they did. Two young women, girls, faked the photography, had the acumen to fake it. The desire to learn photography, the skill and acumen to actually bring their goal to fruition. And then they presented it into a much believing world that fairies exist. A faked photo brought truth. Your truth is in you. Whatever you desire to believe, believe. You don't need someone else to tell you this. Like, I want you to believe something. Believe it if you want. Does it resonate with you? Does it benefit you? After the fairy photos were discovered to be not true, I still think it's great they did this. Does it mean that you can't believe in fairies? No, because then you're completely relying on the exterior world. What do you want? Does it harm to believe in fairies? I don't think so. No. I spent years as a child thinking if I can get to the end of that fucking rainbow, I'll be rich. No harm done. Go ahead, I see your hand.
Well, what's real about fairies is the energy. It's from the universe. What's not real is a physical form. Anything can be a fairy. You make your pet pig could be a fairy. So the energy is real.
I just saw Fritters with wings on its back. Steve, I'm getting you a picture. I'm gonna be looking for some giant wings to put on that boy's back. All right. Y'all at home, I have a pet pig. Shitting McFritters. He actually has a channel, hashtag SMC Fritters. SMCFRITTERS. It's my hubby's channel. And he hasn't been able to load for a while, but you can look at the archive footage. That boy's popular. All right, I'll be getting Fritters some wings. Oh my God, Steve. I'm going to start doing fairy reads. And camera, I'm going to start doing fairy reads, but I'll have Fritters in the background with this big old wigs. Ah, Steve, we're launching. We're launching. I love this. Look at the next card. Just in case some of you are curious about time, I'm not the reader for that. If you're like, oh, I'm going to hire Elizabeth to give me a private reading, I'm going to ask her about time. I'll give you the name of someone else because I don't like doing that. But if you were wondering about time, it says wait for winter. Wait for winter. Now, I do want to say that we can look at the calendar for when winter begins. We can also look at the pagan holiday of Yule, which does tie into winter in the northern hemisphere, the timing of it. We can also look at the name Winter. I used to have a horse named Winterberry Frost. Way back when. I love horses. So winter, wait for winter. It could be waiting for the energy of the horse to return to me, or for me to seek the energy of the horse winter that I had. It can be anything you want it to be. Please, please, please believe yourself as the genius you are. Believe yourself as the light to this world that you are. Believe yourself to be the person of standing that you are. All right, guys, magical gateway. Oh, that's right. We started this whole thing, Star Trek. Boldly forward. The fairies are. Wait a minute. No, I didn't read that. All right. The fairies are asking you to step through the fairy door and into their world of magic and wonder. They're telling you that fairy tales are real and that you're never too old to believe in fairies. Perhaps you've been thinking about embarking on the fairy path. If you're using this deck, the chances are you already have more than a passing interest in the ways of the fae. And by using this deck, that's if you're listening to me read it, if you have a copy, if you've gone online to search it up, whatever. It's not using, I would say, but communing with this deck. If so, now is the time to walk through the fairy door and fully embrace your magical fairy self. The golden key to this fairy door resides inside your heart. Y'all remember me saying that? Remember I told y'all that. I said that this key is already in you. Oh, I know that. I wasn't going to show you that finger because I lost my nail. Look. It's already in you. And that's what the book just said. Maybe. Wait, can I do it? Wait, Alyssa Edwards. I can't do it. That was totally wrong. Sorry, Miss Edwards. All right. She lives in Mesquite. That's not too far from here. Now, Miss Alyssa Edwards, I would love to read your cards. Plastique Tiara is her daughter. So is Lagrange Estranja. I'm trying to find where I left off. It's important to know that once you step through this magical gateway, your life will be changed. You'll see and feel nature in a deeper way. You'll feel more connected to the plants, trees, and flowers, and develop a deeper compassion for all living things. You might even find yourself becoming vegan or vegetarian, if you're not already. Your interest in conservation and the environment could also be heightened. These are all traits of someone who has ventured through the fairy door. So consider this carefully. If you're at all unsure whether you should walk through the fairy door, meditate on the question until you know in your heart that it's the right thing to do. Do not rush. Please don't rush. Once you've passed through the door, prepare for more magic and joy to enter your life, knowing that you're always safe, protected, and loved. Not a one-way trip, guys. Come on back through that door. Come on, I'll camp there. Anyone play Call of Duty? Camper. Yep. All right. She just sit there at a spawn site. It's not funny. But she do rack up some kills. Okay. Here we go. Fairies and Call of Duty. I like that card a lot. I like the Pocket Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. I'm really glad I got it. It's a 44 card deck and guidebook. And oh, I did grab her other one. Guys, we do have it. Good. Messages from the Mermaids. So here, I'll show you two. Pocket size and maybe slightly oversized, but see, pocket. This one, the pocket, it's a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller. Okay. The details are going to be smaller. So if you're like, oh, I like little tiny things, but I don't have really good visual acuity, you might think about that. If you get yourself a little magnifying glass, I have several. All right, Karen K. Oh, but this one is, y'all, I'm so sorry. Let me tell y'all something else. Karen K designed this, but the artwork is by Ginger Kelly. Wait, who? Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. Never mind. Ginger Kelly. All right. And then we have Messages from the Mermaids, and this is artwork by Linda Olson, designed by Karen K. Written. All right, so Messages from the Mermaids. This is definitely different art. Well, like it less and more. It's a little bit. I would definitely want this in a larger one because you'll see in a minute the pictures are kind of mushed together. You'll see. To me, it's not like the artwork kind of flows together. I'll just show you one. Actually, I saw one that. Oh, well, this is a good example. Friendship, but it's kind of dark. It kind of look at all the darkness. The darker vegetation flows together. If this were small, I would have trouble focusing on that. I'm trying. I don't know why it's affecting me like this, but that alarm has been going off the whole time I've been reading. It's one of my kids. They're not sleeping in there, so it's just going to keep going, and it just keeps going. And I'm like, why is that bothering me though? And then it doesn't really when I think that. But why does it bother me to begin with? Is it a message? You can read sound. Sound has vibration, frequency, good vibes, good vibrations. Sound has vibration, and that is sound. You can read sound. Truths and lies vibrate differently. Oh, it's a sticky deck. Ooh, it's sticky. I don't know. It's the finish maybe on some of the cards. It's not a quality thing. It's just some cards are sticky. So I end up having to shuffle like that. Yeah, wow. It's also, I have only read with this a handful of times. That could be it too. Like my this deck over here by Amanda Lovelace with Janina Medeiros. It's illustrated by Janina Medeiros, but it's the Cozy Witch Tarot. It is so worn. I've had it so long and I've read with it so many times. I love it. Okay, let's see what card we get. Wow, it is just whew, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even do that. Oh, shoot. I did it might not, I don't know. I want to read from the blind spot oracle. We'll have time. We'll finish off with the blind spot oracle. I'm really taken with that deck. Dive deep. Oh, there's an anglerfish. Two anglerfish. They are deep. This is so deep in the ocean. Anglerfish are the ones that have Finding Nemo had an anglerfish. They got that big ass light that kind of comes down, and then you go look at the light, but it's right in front of their mouth, you know? So dive deep. Lagos is the elder Futhark rune that I would associate with this little translation of lake, but it's how far are you willing to look at the depth of your character? Lagos. Dive deep would also reference that, but also it makes me think that because there's no light in the depths of the ocean, or at least it's not observable to my human eye that I could determine that there's light. There's a space in my head that's all black, and I call it my creative space. So anything I create there is lit from within. So I stand in complete blackness. I feel the blackness around me. And it means that there's unlimited power. The color black, I think, is the most powerful color. It's not even a color, it's like a state of being. Like when I'm in my head with it. It is around me, it is real. The color black is a thing, it's an entity, a life force. Because it's blackness. It's not the color, but it's blackness. Like blackness as a life form. I don't know how this makes sense, but to me I can feel it. It's like the blackness of the womb. My womb inside is black. There is no light. It would be like sitting in my womb knowing that I am free to create. Now my womb is prepared to create human life, not wooden rock walking chairs. So the blackness in my mind, my womb in my mind, and we can all have this, is not determined by what you were born, even how you see yourself. We can say womb in the mind. You can change the word womb to be anything you want. That's my womb in my mind. So I have two wombs, at least at a minimum. All right, my words can also be considered a womb. Anything that allows incubation could be considered a womb, if you like. So dive deep. Could also mean to free your thoughts. Do not allow constriction to navigate your day for you. Dive deep. Dive deeply into your current situation to help reveal any hidden factors at play. Relax to feel comfortable and acclimatize. Relax to feel comfortable and acclimatize to this new environment. Acclimatize? I don't think I've ever said that. It means acclimate, but acclimatize? What a fun word. You need to acclimatize. Don't you tell me to acclimatize. Okay, I like that. Mermaids are very much at home in the watery world of emotions. Their environment is fluid, just like our emotions, always flowing and forever changing. As you dive into the depths of yourself, experience the magic and wonder of your beautiful inner world. Embrace this magical and vast aspect of yourself and know that you're timeless and limitless in the depths of your being. The journey within can go as deep as you wish and can be a powerfully transformational experience. You may like to explore the sacred practice of shamanism, which involves diving deep into our shadow sides so that we can become healed on deeper levels. Diving deep can reveal many inner mysteries. Learn to observe them with a clear perspective and try to do this without attachment to anything that's discovered. Allow revelations to happen naturally. One way to do this is to watch any inner discoveries as if you're watching a TV screen, but without any emotional attachments to what you're viewing. Ooh, that's a big ask on my part. Yikes. I'm over here screaming at my own thoughts. What do you mean? It's in my head. Another meaning of this card is that you or someone else could be staying on the surface of a situation when it would be preferable to dive deep and explore the deeper meaning of what's really going on. It can take courage to do this, as we often fear the unknown. But usually the discovery isn't as bad as we think. And often it can bring joy and freedom, sometimes from years of avoidance. This card's meaning could also be literal. They could be telling you it's time to go for a swim and or learn to dive. Woo! Y'all make sure that water's deep enough. Don't be silly. You could get paralyzed. Got some serious mom energy coming up. Be careful. Seriously, be careful. All right. Also, if you're like, I don't know if I want to do that, or how do I do that? Create that space in your mind. I have that black space in my head. That brings me a lot of comfort. It's also, I'm used to the black, right? It doesn't scare me. I go there a lot. So if you're comfortable, do something like that. All right. I was going to stop there. I really want to read from the Blind Spot Oracle card. So we'll finish with the Blind Spot Oracle by Teal Swan. Now we have had Healing the Inner Child by Choquette. What's her name? Can't think of her first name. Sonia Choquette. And I have gone ahead and put Teal Swan's deck, the Blind Spot, in its place because I feel like they're somewhat similar. So, all right, let's see what we get. This deck is completely sigils. This is what you get on every card. So if this doesn't interest you, the deck may not. But I will say the guidebook is great. I'm gonna go take that phone and put it on her head. See, I'm getting mad. Like, she's not in that room. She left in there in the summer break, and the phone goes off constantly. And I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, I hear it every morning, but for some reason, it's bothering me. Kind of bothering me. It's bothering me less and less the more I talk about it. And I'm not like angry. It's just like, ugh, perturbed. I'm perturbed. All right, let's see. So, the Blind Spot Oracle by Teal Swan. $60. Oh, that's a pretty one. Oh, it's like a bird cage or a cage. You're not limited in how you view this. Whoa, that's a person in there. Holy shit. Look at that. I can see that. It's a person in a container. I turned it upside down. You're not meant to see just one thing. See whatever you want. There's no wrong. There is no wrong. Y'all are meant to see whatever you want to see and discuss what you see. Share your thoughts. That way other people can, one, build confidence by watching you share your thoughts. They'll have the confidence as well. And two, your thoughts are important. I want to hear them. Share your thoughts. Share what you think that is. It's great. It's a little weird when it's like totally off topic, but we can go there. All right, 60. Or, oh my God, okay, I'm tripping out. So it is 60, or it's 9. Oh, 9. You see, just turn the card upside down. So 60 in the major arcana is going to be 6, the lovers, and then 9 is going to be the hermit. The lovers and the hermit. Oh, that can be very good. In a viewing this from one way, the lovers and the hermit is a long-term relationship that is willing to commit to the actions of endurance. It's not always easy, but it's worth it, like that kind of thing. If you're in a relationship now that is beneficial, you know for sure it's healthy. You might be having a little upset. Maybe there's been a few arguments. You're not sure what's going on. That does not mean to leave. And I'm not talking about you're getting the shit beat out of you. You need to leave if that's happening. Or, I don't know, it's not on you actually. The victim, it's not on the victim. Why didn't you leave the relationship if you were getting beat up? Why are we blaming the victim? Why is he so fucking angry? Or her, whoever's beaten, that kind of thing. So why am I talking about this? I don't want to talk about this. Okay, let's keep going. The Mask of Altruism is card 64. I want to read that. 60. On the card itself is just the number and the sigil. In the book, we have the name of the card, which is called Superiority. If you have drawn this sigil, you have fallen into the ego trap of superiority. Your ego's desire to see itself as better is clouding your awareness, judgment, and capacity to achieve what you really want in this scenario. The ego is preoccupied with comparison thinking. The ego is, after all, a self-concept. So it seeks to differentiate itself from others. We have learned that to be less than others in any way is bad, and that it leads to things that threaten not only our self-esteem, but also our well-being and ability to get what we desire. It makes our self-concept negative and makes us feel prevented from what we want. For example, if a woman wants to have a relationship with a man and she perceives herself to be less attractive than another woman in the room, she will not feel equal to that other woman. Her self-concept relative to her attractiveness will decrease negatively. Her self-concept relative to her attractiveness will decrease negatively, and she will perceive herself to be prevented from what she wants. The amount of pain this kind of experience creates makes it obvious why we then begin to fight for equality, and even more than that, superiority. I had considered that coming from a place of not being treated fairly and then seeking superiority over others. I hadn't considered that. Okay. The human ego cannot handle perceiving itself to be inferior. It is a threat. It begins a subconscious mission to try to gain equality, and more than that, to become better than the person it currently feels inferior to. You will find any way you can to knock them off that pedestal or try to get on a bigger pedestal yourself. There's nothing inherently wrong with comparison thinking. For example, when it is part of a healthy competition, it can even fuel us to do our best. But if we are using it as a tool that hurts ourselves or others, we need to let it go. People did not come here to be compared to other people. If this were the point of life, God or Source would have just made clones of the best possible person. We came here to be unique expressions of Source consciousness. And by comparing yourself to others, you're disallowing your own uniqueness. We are stopping ourselves from seeing that we are all superior to each other in certain ways and inferior in other ways. Michelangelo once said, "Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it." A person's contribution, purpose, and value to this world is entirely unique. So let it be. If you have drawn this sigil, you will also benefit by spending some time accepting in the energy of sigil 20, as well as this one, and coming to understand its message. Sigil 20. I'm going to go over time today and read sigil 20, guys, as well. The thing we are most concerned with when it comes to equality is value. We want to be valued equally or more than other people. In this physical dimension, however, this is impossible because value is determined by needs, perspective, and preferences. For example, in a time of war, a diamond or ruby has no value whatsoever. A bottle of alcohol, on the other hand, has loads of value. If a woman wants to be financially taken care of, and both a rich man and the most emotionally available man in the world walk through the door, the woman will value the rich man. An employee's needs will not be treated as equal to the needs of a CEO because a company can afford to lose and replace a worker while they cannot often afford to lose and replace a CEO. We want our perspective to matter as much as anyone else's in any given circumstance, but it doesn't. If someone meditated on a mountain for 20 years, your opinion about meditation would not matter as much as theirs. It would be inferior in that moment. If you have drawn this sigil, you are being called to really see how you are in a fight to be valued by demanding that you are more and better than someone else in some way. One more time on that. If you have drawn this sigil, you are being called to really see how you are in a fight to be valued by demanding that you are more and better than someone else in some way. This suggests that you have an insecurity lurking within you. What is the insecurity? Even if you are a better athlete, for example, or know more about something than someone else does, your superiority in this scenario is doing damage and preventing what you desire. Something you are thinking, saying, and or doing is making people feel inferior, which makes them perceive you as a threat. If you have drawn this sigil, you are being called to love. To love is to take something as part of yourself. For example, if whites took blacks to be part of themselves instead of believing themselves to be superior, fuck me. Okay, she speaks in absolutes. Woo! All right. Man, she'll say it. For example, if whites took blacks to be part of themselves instead of believing themselves to be superior, whites could not have enslaved them without feeling the negative impact of doing so themselves. Slavery would not have happened. When we love something, we root for that thing to get what it wants, instead of preventing it from getting what it wants. We cease to be against it. You are also being called to question everything and consider every perspective in this situation so as to become aware of everything and arrive at a higher truth. Stop focusing on yourself in terms of inferiority or superiority. Stop focusing on yourself in terms of inferiority or superiority. Instead of thinking, speaking, and acting superior, which is fighting for a person to see themselves as inferior to you, redirect yourself and them towards recognizing their unique intrinsic value. Wow. Shit, she'll just say it, man. All right, let's go to card 20. We are at time. Let's go to 20 really quick. She did say about that card. Oh my God, I said I saw a person in a cage in this card, and she referenced slavery as an example. All right, 20. So I'm not going to pull it from the deck. I'll show you. Oh, she doesn't put the picture. Okay, the picture of the sigil's not in here. I am going to read from the book for 20. The card for 20 is, you don't know, but you think you know. You don't know, but you think you know. Let me just look real quick and make sure it's not just going to pop out. 20 really fast. Actually, let's do this. Will you please show me card 20? I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Will you please show me card 20? Tell you what, my ass is going to the casino if this shit works. Will you please show me card 20? Please show me card 20. $63. 39. And the bottom card, 78. And the one below that, 76. Nope, nowhere near it. I don't think they're nowhere near it. One more time. Please show me card 20. 50. Nope. All right, let's go to the book. You don't know, but you think you know. If you have drawn this sigil, and we're reading this, guys, because she referenced this card. If you have drawn this sigil, or been told to draw this sigil, you think you know everything in a circumstance, but actually, you do not know everything, and a critical piece of information is missing. Consider that this piece of information or awareness might be something no one sees yet, or it might be a piece of information being provided already by someone from the outside that is being rejected. That is such a huge piece of reality in our world today. Let me read that one line again. And I'm not going to give what I'm thinking. Just please listen to this sentence. And whatever you think about it is your truth, and that is beautiful. Consider that this piece of information or awareness might be something no one sees yet, or it might be a piece of information being provided already by someone from the outside that is being rejected. And that doesn't mean that it's necessarily rejected from your singular scope. You could have your entire community rejecting this individual or the individual's community, and therefore you're not getting any information. Star Trek did an episode on this with Geordi LaForge, chief engineer, who had to wear a visor because he was born with sight complications. This is back in the 80s and 90s, guys. So he wore this visor. So they Star Trek in the Next Generation TNG, they go to this planet who's having, I don't remember what the fucking problem was, something with science. They had a science problem. And Geordi is helping them among with the other staff on the ship. And the answer that they needed came from the visor that he wore. So in this culture actually didn't allow any genetic abnormality. They would have considered Geordi's sight a genetic abnormality, and that child would never have experienced that. I don't know how they did it. So let's see this again. Their culture never had an opportunity to discover the answer because they rejected certain people from their own culture. Listen. Or it might be a piece of information being provided already by someone from outside that is being rejected, not even being allowed to fucking exist. You know, the mind of a genius and a drag queen, but the drag queen is being rejected. That mind still exists. It's just not being harvested. All right. RuPaul. All right. In this situation, acting from what you know is acting in ignorance. She really doesn't hold back, man. Damn. This desire to be the one who knows is not in and of itself negative. But there is a shadow side to the quest for knowledge. The shadow side is that knowledge is often used by the ego as a security blanket. The ego uses knowledge to avoid things that it fears. In society, knowing more about something than somebody else boosts one's social status. We become significant to others when we know something more than they do. We become significant when we are the conduit through which they can get their knowledge fixed. I feel like something about it. It is easy then to see how the ego could use knowledge to avoid insignificance, personal insecurity, and worthlessness. The ego, knowledge also helps us to avoid future calamity. If we know the winter is coming, says the grasshopper, we can stock up on food and survive the winter, say the ants. If we do not know it is coming and do not stock up on food, we may die. I really like her. If we are a person who worries about the future, and most of all, who does not trust ourselves to create a reality that feels good to us, knowledge becomes a tool for self-protection. If we are a person who worries about the future, and most of all, who does not trust ourselves to create a reality that feels good to us, knowledge becomes a tool for self-protection. It is the worrier's best friend. Knowledge is often used by the ego to keep itself away from the rocky seas of uncertainty because cognitive closure makes us feel safe. Oh, God. Like talking to family members who refuse to see the elephant in the room, let alone mention it. Yeah. The ego is obsessed with the quest for truth and knowledge because it is convinced that knowledge and truth will keep unwanted things from happening to it. But the unknown holds a glaring truth. Like a clam holds a pearl, and that truth is that the state of learning is a higher state than knowing. Yeah, because you have to be receptive. The state of learning is a higher state of knowing. This is reflected in the Magician. I mean, no, it's not what is actually, but it's highly reflected in the Hierophant, key 5 of the Major Arcana. The open state of inquisition and questioning is a state that's open to all possibilities. There it is. The closed state of knowing shuts the door to further learning. In a way, knowing is endedness. Ended-ness. You can't know everything about everything. And it is very dangerous to act as if you know when you do not know. Y'all, lock in. It is very dangerous to act as if you know when you do not know. It is extremely dangerous to act thinking that you know when the fact that you didn't know something resulted in a whole slew of avoidable suffering. Let's do that again. It is extremely dangerous to act thinking that you know when the fact that you didn't know something resulted in a whole slew of avoidable suffering. Okay. People who draw this sigil are often not listening to others or asking questions. They come up with the reasons why other people's ideas don't work, devaluing others' ideas or credibility. They refuse to explore other options while defending their own opinion, regardless of it being an erroneous one, and ask leading questions to prove their point. I cannot stand that. They make assumptions and are not open to any other points because they have already made up their mind. If you have drawn this sigil, you are in a state of closed-mindedness, even if you are a better informed person who is finding it extremely difficult to think about problems from the perspective of lesser informed people. Doing so is critical in this situation. Even if you are a better informed person who is finding it extremely difficult to think about problems from the perspective of lesser informed people, doing so is critical in this situation. Yes, being open to what someone is saying. Don't close them off in your own mind. Oh, I know this. I heard this. I only listen to them. There's nuggets everywhere in this world. Bits of reality that exist that have not yet been seen by you or me. Information shared is information shared. If you're not willing to listen, then you're the problem. Unless you really don't want to hear anyone else and that makes you very happy, then it's great. All right. I mean, the Hierophant suggests that we are always learning and we are always teaching. Or we at least house the availability, a place to provide learning and teaching, a safe way to learn and teach. Okay. You are not aware of a vital piece of information, but you are telling yourself and acting as though you know it all. We tend to act as though we know when we do not know in relationships. For this reason, I am going to tell you that to really love someone in a way in which they will feel loved and to create actual resolve in an interpersonal conflict, you must understand this issue. Excuse me, guys. I am going to go even further with this and say that you should stop trying to love them and start trying to understand them instead. When we do not understand another person, we do all the wrong things, thinking that they are the right things to do. When you understand something, you know that so sorry. When you understand something, you know that thing on a mental, emotional, and physical level. It is no longer a guessing game. If you have drawn this sigil, you need to be brave enough to face what you are trying to avoid by knowing. Open your mind. Operate with the intention of understanding everything. Let curiosity be your mental set point, knowing that a critical piece of understanding which you do not have right now will come to you at any time and from anywhere, even potentially the most unlikely of sources, those that you consider ignorant, not worth listening to, less valuable than you. Those are excellent sources. All right, guys. I really like this deck. So Teal Swan's in the permanent lineup, well, temporarily in our permanent lineup. I love it. I have so many decks. And I sit down in the morning and I'm like, I have a stack here. There's just, oh, I told you what I say, 16 decks. So anyway, guys, we have more decks for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I go live and we're doing this again. And then on Thursday, I do not go live, but we do meet. If you would like to come together and read cards with a group of people, 8 a.m. on Thursday, 8 a.m. CDT. All the links are in the description of the video. All right, and they're going to be under meetup. You can also just keep coming here, but you'll never catch a Thursday on here. And then this Saturday, I'm gonna be doing it. I'll tell you guys, it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days a week. 5 days a week. So stop on by. I hope I see you soon. All right, guys. I'm having iced coffee this morning. I rarely drink coffee. I'm feeling it. All right, I'm gonna say bye. You guys are fabulous. Thanks for hanging. I hope I see you very soon. And if ever you can come to my room, you do not need to come on camera. You do not need to read. You can just observe. You will get a reading. I read. I'm a pretty good reader. I also don't market this too much. I teach tarot. If you would like a tarot teacher, I'm happy to teach. You can do one-off appointments, or we can set it up for a series, whatever you'd like. There is a fee involved. However, I'm also offering free tarot classes online on my YouTube channel, YouTube under Willow Root Tarot. And if you look at my playlists, you'll see that I have a free library. It just got set up last night. I'm going to start recording on there. Just keep checking back. And you guys are always welcome to make suggestions on what you'd like to see or hear from me. I'm happy to receive this. All right, guys, you're really great. And I'm going to say bye. And I'm going to say bye, and then I'm going to pause. What is that on the wall? What is like dancing on the wall behind me? Rachel Pollack called a group of spirits a splendor and described them as lights that would move about things. I know where it's coming from, I think, up there. But the fact that they're behind me on the screen, everything's a message. There's 3 dots moving. If you turn it, it mimics the Little or Big Dipper. So we could look at this as a constellation, but it's moving too much. No, that's not true. It could still be the constellation. Okay, so now the camera's saying, never mind. All right, guys, I'm gonna say bye as soon as I can find out. All right, bye, guys. I'm just gonna pause because the stream's got to catch up, and I'm not sure how long. So I'm gonna count to 5, and then I'm gonna say it out loud so I know exactly how long it takes. I'm gonna count to 5 and hit end. 1, 2, 3,